Hi, Kira. Okay, so we were just talking on Instagram and we were like, what are we going to do with all of these brads that we just got from the My Mind's Eye warehouse sale? And I think they're beautiful. I mean, just the details in here, and I love how they incorporated some die cuts to go in it. But seriously, we have 1, 2, 3. I love this. And the triangles, oh my gosh. 4, 5 brad packs. So you were like, what are we going to do? And so I said, well, I can come up with something to do with them, I'm sure. So that's what I did this morning. And so I wanted to show you what I did. And what you'll need is a 2-inch circle punch and a 1-inch circle punch and some scrap cardstock, or I used poster board. I like using the 2-inch circle, but the 1-inch circle is fun too for smaller ones, and I'll show you both. Grab crepe paper in whatever color you want. I have black and white here. And I got this a long time ago at a thrift store or an antique mall or something, and it's actually for our area, the gardening book. But I would never, I mean, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? The mint. I would never use it for referencing gardening, but I would totally use the pages for doing crafts, and maybe, who knows, I'll do some kind of a mini album with the cover because it's gorgeous, and this is totally my style. Okay, so I pulled out a couple of sheets of the book paper. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first how to make the flower petals with the crepe paper. And you can use tissue paper as well. It's the same concept. And I did that earlier with some flowers that I made. So, and I'll show you pictures of the other flowers that I made in a little bit. So basically I just kind of wrapped them accordion style. And the more times that you fold it, the less times that you'll have to cut it. I don't have any rhyme or reason for how many petals to use, so I just kind of accordion styled the cuts, and then I'm going to cut out a sloppy heart. So see how it's kind of like a sloppy heart. Okay, and then I take my book paper, because I'm going to do both, and what I did is I just did the same accordion style folds. Okay, now here's the important part that you want to know. If you want your flowers to be, well, here, I'll show you the difference. So I have, this was done on a 2-inch, and this one was done on a 1-inch punch. So if you want your petals, if you want your flower to be smaller, you want your petals to be smaller than this. You want them to be a little bit shorter than this. If you want your petals to be big, then you want, you know, the width that you cut them out to be bigger. So then I just folded it in half so that I don't have to cut more than once. And I'm going to cut this way. And again, you're just doing a sloppy heart. Okay, so it cut off, but I was going to show you how to assemble it all. So I've got my book paper here, and I've got my crepe paper here that I've cut out. And I'm just going to take some Tombow Mono. It's not the watery glue, it's the green tube, whatever that one's called. I've lost my packaging, so I can't tell you what exactly it's called, but you're going to kind of pleat this part in and squish it down. And I would not recommend using a hot glue gun because crepe paper is really like thin, and I'm afraid that you would burn your hand off. I really hate getting burnt by the hot glue gun. I don't know why. It's like getting shocked by an electrical outlet. Have you ever gone to do something and then it shocks you and it doesn't hurt, but I mean, it would if it was a 220, but like a normal plug-in doesn't hurt. It just scares you half to death. I don't know. Anyway, that's like me and hot glue. So anyway, you just kind of keep pleating them, and that one was still stuck together. Keep pleating them, sticking them down. Hopefully I have enough. So this last week for me was kind of crazy. We had some drama in the church world. We had some members of our congregation decide that they were no longer going to be attending our church, and this couple had so much enthusiasm, and anyway, it's a lot of brokenness. And so anytime that something like that happens, it really feels like a divorce. And so I've been biting my nails and I've been stressed out, but we had our regional district kind of encourager come and speak to us last week at the church, and he asked us, what is our biggest fear? And my biggest fear was more people giving up hope and giving up on each other. And yeah, I mean, hurt people are going to hurt people, and we're all hurting people in one way or the other. We're not perfect. But if we can make a commitment to stick it out, there can be so much more good that comes out of that. Anyway, it was a really good meeting. It was really encouraging. But I realized that I was kind of putting myself in the same position of fear and letting fear motivate everything that I do instead of love. And as a result of all of that, I have no fingernails. And I am a nervous, stressed out biter of fingernails, and it's really gross. So sorry that you have to look at that, but thanks for listening. So just continue pleating the book pages, and you can probably do this with like the thinner scrapbooking paper, the 180 sheet pads that you can get of pretty paper, but it's thin. And I bet that would work too. Okay, so we got that done. Okay, so I'm gonna punch out a circle, a 1-inch circle, gold, of course, because I'm obsessed with gold. And we're gonna plop this baby down. So I went to the thrift store today and I found these really cute rolls of tickets, and I saw them last week. So I can't say that I saw them today, but I saw them last week, and I didn't get them because, I mean, where did I put them? Oh, they're right here. I didn't get them because, seriously, I mean, how am I ever going to use all of that? How? Tell me. I mean, unless I threw some kind of a carnival event for the next 18 years for both of my children 3 times a year, I probably still wouldn't use them all. So you're gonna get a bunch, just so you know. And here I'm just repeating the same process of slicing a place for the brad to go through. So we'll just stick this little brad in and call it done. So for the next one, we're gonna do the 1-inch circle, and instead of, actually, before I do that, we're gonna still do the same accordion thing with the crepe paper. And instead of doing the sloppy heart shape, we're gonna kind of do a scalloped rough circle. And we're gonna take our mini hole punch, if I can get it to work, and find the center and punch a hole. We're gonna punch a hole down here. This will be the base for our brad to go. And we're gonna find a pretty brad. Let's do this crown one. Before you put on the brad, and this is just gonna give it a little bit more stability, you'll use a 1-inch punch and punch out some cardstock, and then take your X-Acto knife and make a couple of slits for the brad to go. Okay, so then you have your base, and then the reason that I like to do a piece of cardstock right here is so that it gives some support to these petals, because it's pretty easy to rip if you don't. And no rhyme or reason, you're just gonna kind of put them all on the brad. Okay, and then you'll put your base on the bottom, flatten out your brad, and there you have this really cute small flower. Just kind of ruffle them up and make it a little bit more three-dimensional. Like that. See how cute that is? So there you have your small one. You have your large one, and I thought of a really cool idea to put a small one in the center. I'll show you what that looks like. I can find it. Look at how cute that is. I wanted to show you some inspiration that I got. So because I saw that they did some die cuts and they just used some simple enamel dots. I mean, they're still enamel dots. They're still, they're still brads, but they used a die cut along with the brad, so it's already like its own embellishment. I went through my box that I'm working with for your project that I'm working on right now. I'm not going to show you what it is, but I cut out some cameras. Of course, some people put little enamel dots right there in the center. We're just going to use a brad. And it took just a simple die cut piece that I fussy cut out and made it into something more special. And I didn't want to go through and make DIY embellishments for you on video, because everybody and their mother seems to be doing that these days. So I just wanted to show you what I ended up with. Another way that you can do it is following the same concept that my mind's eye did, is just take a little ticket or a scrap piece of paper and add them to them. And then I'm going to show you my favorite way to use brads. We are going to take one of these On Trend 2 brads. We're going to pull the prongs back. We're going to take a piece of, or a pair of crappy scissors that we don't care about. We're going to snip it off. Ta-da! Kind of bend those pieces back in, make sure not to cut yourself. And then take some foam tape. Plop that baby in the middle, and now you have your own enamel dot. Because really, that's what I'm going to use it for most of the time. So anyway, I hope you liked my quick tutorial. I will talk to you later.